Welcome to the Legacy of Light podcast, where we channel messages from the higher realms, taking you on adventures into the higher realm history of this planet, to golden ages, advanced civilizations, and sharing messages and news to support you on your ascension path. I'm Gabriella Kowalski, and
I'm Polina Light. We are so delighted to be taking you on a journey of embodying your own divinity, exploring your beautiful, magnificent, infinite heart, and connecting deeper to your own beautiful eternal nature.
You've been connecting with Archangel Michael each morning recently?
Yes, he is inviting me into his sphere of light, where he's sharing information that has to be passed on and revealed to people, to more population, because it involves all of us as we are ascending as collective. And the recent information that I received this morning was that the split between two realities is becoming more and more obvious. The gap between layers of awareness is becoming wider and more deep. It means that those souls who are on the journey of ascension, as we all are ascending as collective, wholly and in one unified pattern, yet we choose different pathways of ascension. And because we have free will that is given into us and imprinted upon us by Creator, we always have various opportunities to choose what we feel more excited with and what we feel more aligned. So there are pathways for those who are buying into the illusion of doom and gloom, which is struggles, which is apocalypses and crises that does exist within the quantum field, and there are many different pathways of ascension through that particular narrative. And then there are other narratives and different pathways of ascension for those souls who have transcended layers of their identity, who have calibrated their system fully, so they are no longer in resonance with scarcity and fear-based conditionings that they have received through external sources or as remembrance from different lifetimes. They are choosing ascension and pathways of ascension through unifying even more and downloading even more visions that later would be manifested into reality. So creating communities based on oneness and unconditional faith and unified vision that humanity is ascending through beauty, through love, and restoring what has been distorted, and also downloading new that has never been existing on planet Earth prior to this cycle of ascension. And of course, there is another pathways of ascension, which is experiencing a global reset through events of not so much catastrophic events, but quite radical shaking within fundamental structures such as financial, even weather would be changing. There can be potentially tsunamis and earthquakes. So basically, the earth is creating two different versions of yourself, like yin and yang, which do represent the wholeness and balance each other perfectly. But us as sovereign souls who are currently incarnated on this planet, we have a choice whether we want to experience that or we want to experience another version of pathways of ascension. Yet at the same time, as we are coming to peace with all that we have known, we have to accept the newness and we have to accept the present moment, which is revealing to us in a core of us as individuals. So it means that some programs are arising, some emotions can be arising, and we can be experiencing ascension on physical level. And many of us may be questioning what to do with these symptoms of ascension, as we have no reference point. If we are to scan history of humanity and even our ancestors, there is no reference point that we can find comforting in, because humanity has never ascended physically like this before. We all have transcended our physicality and shifted from physical versions into semi-physical versions or non-physical versions. But in this cycle, we are ascending with our physical vessel. So it is normal and it is absolutely okay for us sometimes to feel that what's happening? Am I going crazy? Is my world falling apart? Or this or this? It doesn't matter. And knowing that there is no reference point. So it means that we cannot find comforting in the past, because past does no longer apply to the present. We cannot bring past into the newness. We cannot bring lifeless, dated, and energetic grid that has already completed facilitating cycles of ascension previously. We cannot bring that structure into new energetic grid that we are downloading and birthing. And Archangel Michael, he has shared a message of advice and suggestion that it is important to truly make sure that we are staying in our center, in our heart, and seeing reality and all the shifting timelines and different realities, different energetic flows, that they are happening and taking place around us and even within us. Yet we are anchored in our inner core, which is a fundamental building block of our subjective and sovereign universe. And that core can never be changed because it's anchored in the domain of pure light, of source, of creator. So suggestion and advice is just to be witnessing and allowing different layers of identity, different layers of our character to be rewritten, and making peace that this is the beginning of something new. And it is the moment of transitioning that will last as long as it needs to last. However, we are the ones who download new. And we have to support our physical vessel, because ascension in physical body is very important. He also shared that it's important for all of us as humanity to be way more mindful about what we are consuming and what we are using as a fuel for our bodies, especially water, and especially foods that we are receiving and digesting. So water has to be purified, and we can no longer be ignorant about what elements are present in the water that we are drinking. We have to see the molecular structure of the water and scan the level of purity in it. And if there are some heavy metals present, or if there are some kind of bacteria present, we have to be aware. And there are so many different technologies that are available for all of us. And there are technologies that are inbuilt in our system. We can always tune into our heart and see if the water is pure, if we don't have external like devices or technologies or something to assist us in becoming more aware of the molecular structure of the water. So Archangel Michael said that the molecular structure of entire universe is shifting, and it means that we are to truly be aware what kind of water we are drinking, because consciously we may choose ascension through love and experiencing beauty and so on. But if we are consuming dirty, polluted water, our choices and our mental choices, our intentions and our physical actions are not in alignment. So we have to bring more awareness into daily reality of what we do, and especially fueling this vessel, supporting it. So that's the message.
Thank you for sharing that. I really love this because, even right now, I'm in a beautiful process of precision in co-creating solely with the foods of the earth. And so there was just this huge little burst of excitement in my field to only put foods into my body that I could find on the planet. So nothing from a packet in any way, shape, or form, which means that I've even let go of bread because I don't know how to bake it myself. and and so it was just like, if I can find the food in nature, I eat it. If I can't find it so whole food, like true whole food is, I go outside and I fish a fish. I pick a potato, I pick some, whatever it is I do. and and it's been really fascinating. Like, the just eating this way for the last week, and just the food, and downloading and channeling the most delicious combinations of nutrients. Every plate is so colorful, so full of life. Co-creating with Gaia in this way, and yes, energetically, always like coding the food, having it coded to my frequency, yet at the same time, I feel like as you share this, I feel like, no wonder I've had this massive like burst of inspiration to not co-create with anything that's in a packet. And um, and also, of course, to source all the food local, like all the, where I live, the food here is delicious and amazing, and from coming from local farmers, organic and beautiful. And it just anchored even deeper as you shared that, because yeah, we can say I'm choosing the pathways of love. Yet at the same time, if we're not being loving with our body, then are we? It's like love isn't just something that we go, yes, I choose love. It's something we be in every area. We're loving with all around us, with nature, with all the people around us, and absolutely with ourselves. And oh, thank you. I really love this, this like greater precision with, like with what we're co-creating with. Are we co-creating with love, which means are we co-creating with loving water? Are we co-creating with loving food? You know, are we co-creating in this way, or are we co-creating with fear, with scarcity, with that'll do, with complacency, with apathy, with yeah? Because at the same time, like as much as it can be convenient to go and get a packet of chips, it's very different than taking a sweet potato and peeling it with love and slicing it up and putting it in the oven and making some beautiful sweet potato, like chippies yourself with love. And there's like this aspect to it. So thank you. I really love this. I also love this share about the acknowledgement that there's a greater split happening, because I know there's been a lot of people, especially like at the start of this week, feeling the energetic, like feeling like they're, whoa, like something big energetically is happening. Just with beautiful like soul clients in my program, and also I visited my parents, and they were holding on for dear life, like whoa, something's going on. And to anchor that, it's like, yes, this year is the year of choosing. 2024 is the year of choice. And that might sound liberating, and at the same time, that choice truly does bring so much more discernment, presence, consciousness. It's asking us to be in our body fully in every second, and to really tune in, to every nuance, and also our environments too, to scan the environment for love, to like have everything inside and reflected be co-creating with love in that. And I also want to add, for me, because I know that it's ascension too, like it's abundance too. It's like when we choose abundance, when we choose love, it also means that, we're not going to go to the shop and buy some apples even though we want blueberries because the apples are $2 cheaper. You know how sometimes people do this? And those little actions, are also, are you truly choosing abundant timelines? Because in that moment, you're like, I really want the blueberries, but they're $6, but I can get a bag of apples for $4. You know how sometimes people do these things? And really, you've just saved $2. Like in the grand scheme of things, is $2 really going to make a huge difference? And those little moments, and being like generous, being kind to each other, like looking for how we can serve, how we can support each other, all of that anchors us deeper onto the beautiful pathways of love and abundance in ascension. I love this. I love this topic. Yay.
Yay. Absolutely, absolutely. I find it fascinating as there have been in different communities and in different layers of collective consciousness, there are always ideas, and there are always conversations and topics going on about the direction that humanity is going to, where we are going to. And of course, there are different predictions, there are different visions, and so on. And it will always be this way. And what Archangel Michael has shared recently with me, which is a confirmation of something that is well known, but it's beautiful to be receiving confirmations because sometimes we forget. that there is no comparison, and that there is no judgment or even dualistic perception about one way or another. That those souls who are more feeling in resonant and feeling more called to explore more of conspiracy, to explore more of scarcity in a way, and fight for justice, becoming the warriors of light. I want to emphasize the word warrior and the fighter for justice, and so on. It just it's a beautiful energetic grid that welcomes and attracts those souls who have given their agreement, their consent to be exploring cycles of ascension, and they are exactly where they have to be. It doesn't mean that they're better than other souls or worse than other souls. No, it's just we all are experiencing different spectrums of the light. Some of us are enjoying green light, some of us enjoying yellow, and we all are complementing each other. We all are creating unity and oneness. And at the same time, it ultimately takes us to acknowledging the opportunity to create radical changes in major fundamental structures of society, such as, once again, coming back to the topic of food, that food, plastic, pollution, and so on, all the elements that are non-organic to our human system and are foreign to a consciousness of Gaia, consciousness of land and earth. Once we are following the guidance of our heart and tuning into organic frequency that we are receiving and communicating with through our heart field, we shiftly find ourselves being more drawn to making more holistic choices, such as eating more organic food, such as communicating with people in a loving way, because it is all part of wellness. Those are the elements that create the well-being for individuals and collective. And the more we choose organic foods and growing our own food, drinking pure water, and co-creating with kindness, loving animals and seeing them as our friends, loving people and no longer seeing another person as a competitor or someone separate from ourselves, the less we would be drawn to purchasing and funding with our sovereign money industries that are slaughtering animals, industries that are creating plastic products and using non-organic, like biodegradable materials. So by default, we shift from this industry of being consumers, from this paradigm that we have to reach, we have to earn money, we have to do this and this and this in order to consume. So we are no longer in resonance with scarcity and mind control. We are no longer subscribing to be part of something that we do not wish to experience. And this is a beautiful opportunity for all of us to truly practice what we preach. And as you just said, that 2024 is the year of choice and the year of spiritual maturity, emotional maturity, and the greater joy of responsibility, which is beautiful, because with that comes so much more choice. We can never lose anything. So even if we are saying no to old ways, it means that we are saying yes to something new, because there is never an ending in the beginning. Everything is just a continuation. So once we say lovingly no to old structures because we no longer resonate with them and we no longer wish to contribute our energy and our money into something that doesn't feel exciting, we're saying yes to expansion. And the expansion is happening on every level, in relationship, in abundance, such as wealth, in abundance of experiences that we get to have, an abundance of choices, new choices that we get to make in co-creation with our heart consciousness. I find it very exciting, and I'm happy to be incarnated in this particular time because it's fun. There is so much freedom. Some may see limitations, yet I see freedom, and those who are directing us and sending us love from non-physical realms, they are always encouraging us to see the abundance of choice, see the abundance of spectrum of the light that we can experience, and no longer co-create with dualistic perception. Just accept that all does exist and all will exist. It's just different playrooms and different toys for different children, because we all are ultimately children of God or Source that will always learn anew and new and new and again and again and again because it's fun.
Yeah. And it's completely okay, for anyone who's even going to oscillate between the timelines, that some people will enter into the timelines that aren't as fun for them only because it gives them choice again. And, it's not like right now, this very moment, you get to choose which timeline you're on, it's please know that the choice is available all the time. And some people will continue to stay true to their heart, choose ascension, be devoted to choosing to anchor and stabilize deeper and deeper into their soul full expression. Other people may find they go left a little bit, and feel a little bit lost for a moment, only to then choose again. And then next time they choose, woof, they enter an even stronger, stronger footing to be able to continue creating with love, with abundance. And I think that's important too, that it's not one or the other. It's just that, hey, the split has become even more apparent. Like with the fourth dimensional bridge open, and it's been open for a few years now, things are shifting. And there is I know for myself, like especially in the last year, the being able to see the different, like seeing 3D, seeing 3D, 4D, 5D, and like looking at four different chairs in front of me. And now there's this like split of all of that even more. And those that are like fully choosing love, choosing ascension, choosing abundance, choosing their soul, choosing to continue even when they're unsure. Each time they do, they stabilize even more into the new timelines that are available, because the split to me is new timelines are anchored. Yes, the old timelines are there for the people that are still not ready 100% to anchor into the new, and because there's no right or wrong, and there is this like expansion happening. Yet in every breath we have that choice. I feel like this is such a beautiful, like I'm like, it's freeing, it's liberating. And at the same time, I know for myself, my inner guidance has been, uh, put your galactic seatbelt on, because there'll be a lot of change this year. Change is the literal only constant in ascension. That's the reality, that for those of us that are very comfortable and have befriended change and have seen change as fun and wonderful and adventurous, find ascension so much more graceful. Those of us that are still wanting to co-create more with security, stability, and sameness do find that they, feel more stretched every single time they ascend. Because like you said, there are identities leaving the field. There are whole structures leaving there's brand new structures anchoring planetary, like from a planetary perspective, but also for each individual. It's interesting, like I was reflecting, it's February the 23rd as we're chatting, and I was reflecting on how much change has already happened in the last couple of months. Like so much newness in here than what there was, just 2 months ago. You know what I mean? Like there's lots of newness. And even today, I was present to some of the structural changes I was downloading for my mission, my beautiful mission empire, and some of the different pieces of my mission and certain things wanting to change. And whew, and they're like, I'm watching them like grow, like watching flowers bloom. And I'm like, whoa, and that's different. And downloading different directives, different things, like completely different things to tweak and to, shift into in order for everything to calibrate into its newness. And if for those of us, if we can, I really do feel that every single soul who's choosing to embrace change with love, and that means, okay, right now, everything's shifting. I have no idea what grid I'm stepping into. I don't know the new. I've got no reference point for the new. That's what like hardcore advanced change is. I'm stepping into something that I have no reference point for.
And that's where we get to be so loving with our mind. Like we're receiving more mind, heart, womb integration, and unity. And to me, in those moments, that's when the heart comes in. That's co-creating with love. Is mind, I know this is scary. I know that everything's changing. I know that we're being called to something new and we don't have a reference point. I know that we're being asked to let go of an identity, a pattern, a way of being that we've been operating with our whole life, and it's actually worked for us. And mind, come and take this adventure with me. Mind, we've got this. We've got this. We take our little mind by the paw and we just take a little jump.
Yes,
Yeah. Oh,
beautiful. Exciting times,
yep.
exciting new energies.
Mm,
And this is all only a beginning.
yep. Oof. Well, this was just a little impromptu pop-up little transmission. So for those of you watching and listening, we were talking and we're like, let's record this, and then this just came out. So we trust that this serves 2024, the year of options, choices, and remembering that even if we see systems collapsing, that doesn't mean we need to plug into that and be part of that collapse. We can observe from a different perspective and create our own grids, our own worlds, our own alternate realities and timelines. We can anchor into even more of our sovereignty. Yeah.
Sending you so much love, and enjoy the vastness of choice.